5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Welcome to the podcast. This is Frank.
Hello. I'm excited
and
to be
Tristan.
here.
If you're coming from this from Twitter, you obviously follow me at Twinging It. This is Frank, and his Twitter handle is
At Frank_Scar, SCAR. Yeah.
all right. And now that we got it out of the way, you know who we are. Hopefully,
I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so. Frank is he's a major figurehead in everything.
I try.
Nigerian government. Frank's a figurehead.
Yeah, well, that's really hush-hush.
Communist overthrow.
Well,
Frank was that.
all right. I don't like to brag, but,
All right, so we figured we were to recap Microsoft's overall conference today.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first is that we're going to cover fan favorites. We're going to cover fan favorites before we cover anything else. Let me adjust the gain on my mic real fast so I don't hear people in the background. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
All right, clear.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we're going to cover the biggest fan favorite of the decade for Frank.
Woo!
Destiny, which is actually coming out tomorrow at Sony's conference, and it's going to have an hour and something of gameplay shown.
Yes.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Can you physically handle that much gameplay?
You just talking about it makes me a little lightheaded, so.
Might have been all that drugs.
Oh, them drugs.
We had to loosen Frank up for this podcast.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So what do we know about? Well, not we. What do you know about Destiny so far?
Whew! Alright, well.
Besides that, you are a guild captain and Rainbow Six. Let's go. Rainbow.
Alright, yeah, that's a really good name, by the way. Who thought of that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Zach. Yeah. Shout out to Zach. Good to see you, but I'm happy you're not here.
Yeah, thank God.
All right. So what can you want us to? Can you give me a talk about of the?
Man.
Let's hear about the co-op options. I remember you sent me some of the multiplayer options you're gonna have in the game, whether it be firefights or patrols, raids. Like, can you give me a rundown of what some of them are?
Let's see. All right, so there's patrol, which is basically what it sounds like. It's like a free roam, just kind of like free roam or patrol. It occurs outside of.
The story mode?
No, outside of the city that you're in.
Okay.
The last safe city. So that's like free roam. Just walk around. Kill mofos and stuff like that. Campaign.
Okay, so like open world.
Yeah.
So is campaign? Is that single player?
It's yeah.
Is that optional?
Yeah.
Okay.
The campaign is the story. Like, it's, the straightforward story about the game. You can play by yourself, play with friends. Probably best to play with friends.
It seems like that.
Yeah, it's a cooperative game, open world shooter.
Now, it is in fact an MMO. Am I right?
Yeah, well, they described it as, what did I say? Open world shooter? Okay. So it's like... Or what?
So while I'm walking around, am I going to be interacting with other players, or?
Yeah, there's like these things called public events, which they spawn randomly, and they're like, hey, this little thing will pop up on your HUD, like, hey, we need help over here, like some fallen dudes are like trying to, encroach on our territory, can you jump in and help? And then that's up to you, and you can say yes or no, and like, all right, come on, bring like your people that you're with. Or by yourself, jump in, help out. And once you get done, you get some loot, and then you leave and go on your merry way. That's like the free. You'll be able to you'll be able to interact with players outside of the city, but you'll do most of your interactions within the city.
And with co-op partners, right?
Yeah. Well, and then again, you can just go around, solo, like interacting with strangers.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, but I think going around with some friends will kind of get it moving a little.
So do you think that Destiny in a way is going to be a lot like how Defiance was, where playing by yourself really doesn't provide as much satisfaction as playing with a guild and people you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they designed it so
It's playable for anyone.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to go solo, if you want to, sort of online it up and be Kirito and, go in there all solo and, afraid
with your anime name.
I know. Look at me.
You're getting
look at
so
me.
cool.
Look at me.
Just don't forget where your roots
that's
are.
the only. I know. Hipster. Okay. But yeah, you can solo it up, but then you can, you'll eventually you will come across players, and maybe they'll want to party up with you. Like, oh my god, you're really good. Like, come out and come help with us in like a raid or something.
See, what
or
I
you can
found
just go around solo.
A little different is when I heard Destiny and I heard how you described it with like open world and there's players kind of walking around the same world as you are.
Mm-hmm.
It struck me as very obviously usually everyone's first thought about that one is like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That's whenever anyone says MMO, I think World of Warcraft's like probably the first name on their tongue.
Yeah.
However, Destiny went with a single player campaign, and World of Warcraft, its entire campaign is based around having friends to play with and constantly online. It doesn't have a campaign so much as it has you're kind of by yourself, but you're not entirely. You're never alone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
I think that's sort of the same thing they have going on here, except WoW and this game are different in that like the basis of it. It's the story, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But they're the same in that they're MMO-esque, as in like in similarities comparison. But at the same time, you can kind of branch off on your own and completely go lone wolf and just play straight through. It'll be hard. It'll be hard, but you can do it.
So you can beat the campaign by yourself, but there's also like raids and other missions like that. Is that gonna? Do you know? I don't think they announced when that's going to be incorporated into the storyline as much, but I know that the missions themselves are specified to be able to be beaten by a single person. Mm-hmm. However, the entire online mode is specified to have players interacting with each other, and that's the main focus of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's basically like a big awkward school mixer,
Yeah, well, no one knows each other, and see, that's what one game that pulls that off really, really well. It just needs to have more polish. Is DayZ. Mm-hmm. DayZ pulls the awkward school mixer type of idea off perfectly. Mm-hmm. It just it also has there's the bullies. Everyone has the possibility of being a bully, and I think games like WoW and games like Destiny, that was always something I thought was lacking, was the fact that though there was human interaction, the human interaction could never be negative. Unless both of you agreed that it should be, negativity was something that just didn't exist. Unless it was an enemy faction, in which case it's not negativity, it's gameplay. So, I think if Destiny could manage to have places where...
actually, there are places...
places like that, where no bar told, it just free for all type of.
Well, that's like the PvP stuff, and also as getting away from the combat element of it. There's the social part of it, with your fellow players. There's certain sections in the last Safe City that they're tailored to your certain class. So, like, there's it's like in Skyrim where there's, like, a mages guild and, like, the fighters guild and stuff like that. Like, you'll find your own group of people to intermix with. So, like, there's a warlock building and a titan building and a hunter building. So you can kind of compare with other hunters, compare with other titans, compare with other warlocks, and then you can kind of strike up conversation through that. So basically the tower is a big thing of commerce. It's like a big bazaar, basically.
Okay. So it's like the idea of maybe you're not in the same guild, but fighters are going to be with fighters, and hunters are going to be with hunters, because they're going to compare. You can't compare a hunter to a titan.
Exactly.
So, now, do we know if the city open? Can you just walk around the city free willy, or do you have to teleport to different parts in this tiny section?
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. It's. Yeah, excuse me. You can walk around. I don't think. I mean, you'll have to teleport to some places that you have to load, maybe like inside of buildings. But other than that, there's a central square or something like that. I imagine that it'll be something along those lines of that. Like picture the Citadel in Mass Effect if you can.
Okay.
It's kind of like that.
All right.
It should.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm not sure.
All right,
Maybe they'll go.
Speaking of the Citadel, that provides a perfect time to jump to our next fan favorite. We spent a lot of time talking about Destiny, like I think 10 minutes so far. But let's jump to our next fan favorite.
Dude, wait. No. We didn't get
Mass.
Okay.
What? No. What's up?
We didn't get to the strikes or raids.
Oh God! Oh yeah, I forgot. So we know for a fact that raids are 6 players, which it struck me as different because raids are usually 5 players. That adds 3 1 and 1 tank, 1 healer, 3 DPS. But 6 adds a chance to have a backup healer, a backup tank, or even higher DPS.
Exactly.
Which makes me think maybe Destiny isn't so much class based as it is simply playing how you want to.
Yeah,
maybe it doesn't matter if you have a tank so much as long as you're all doing what you need.
Well, that's the thing with Destiny is that you can be a hunter, and the first thing that the word hunter, you think a dude that's just roaming around in the back, super sly, and he's.
I think camo.
Yeah, exactly.
Camo and cowboy suits.
That's not necessarily the case. I mean, sure, by all means you can do that, but you can
cowboy suits.
Maybe DLC. But yeah, by all means you can be that.
Sneaky.
Yeah, that stereotypical hunter dude. But in reality, you can go guns a blazing as a hunter and go in. The same with Hunter, or the same with Warlock and
Warlock?
And then Titan even. The classes are just there as a placeholder, really, as a name, really, and everything in the game is basically up to suggestion and options, and there's definitely no limit of options.
But as I was saying, I don't think they could find a way to completely stray away from the idea that healers do need to go with perks that are
yeah. Well, you build your character as you want, just like any other game. But I think it's going to be even it's going to be loosely based around like the traditional specs of a healer, of a DPS, of a tank, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have earbuds in right now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I can hear a slight echo of myself.
Oh.
I mean, I sound nice, but I don't think the audience is gonna.
Is that better?
Enjoy. Yeah, no, it's fine. Thank you. Okay. So and then that was covering raids. Raids is basically, you said it was 4 hours long with a 45-minute opening of the door.
Yeah, majority.
The opening of the door, does that mean like you have to do quests to get to the raid, or once you get there you have to dick around for 45 minutes, wait for the door open, do the raid?
Yeah, well, you're probably I don't know. That's a good question. There's probably going to be some type of quest, given to part of the raid, like as a raid quest, I guess, if that's a thing. Say you defend the door for 45 minutes, and I know that's a really extremely long time. 45 minutes just to crack the door open to this giant.
So do you think
something?
Think that's the actual time it's going to take, or do you think that's the amount of time you have?
No, that's probably that's the time it's going to take. I'm positive. I've read in the weekly up there, maybe 2 weeks ago, that raids are basically hardcore co-op play. Like raids, you're gonna need a lot of people, and I think raids. I'm pretty sure raids aren't restricted to just your fire team. Like I'm pretty sure there's gonna be
everyone you need to come.
Yeah.
All right, that's how open world bosses now are in World of Warcraft. Let's say there's not to bring it back to World of Warcraft. That's the only thing I have to really compare it to.
Well, yeah, it's good.
It's a decent enough comparison. I think World of Warcraft's a good basis for almost all games. But the open world bosses is basically, let's say you're walking along the road and you see this raid taking down the boss. What can happen now is, instead of that one group having the entirety of the boss, you can actually jump in, and it's a little cheap, but you can actually jump in, do maybe 2 seconds of damage, the boss goes down, and you still get counted in as the raid participator.
Yeah, that's probably. I think that's going to happen. That should. I think once you're locked in, you're locked in. Not
Okay,
entirely
so
sure.
not so much as a jump in, jump out, so much as just
Well,
a
no,
jump in
that's
scenario.
I don't know. No, I think it's going to be. That's I think we're just going to have to wait until they announce some
Yeah, I
stuff.
think there's a lot of this is speculation
Yeah.
and known facts
Yeah.
mixed in.
Yeah.
But all right, so
Strikes.
strikes are is that the fire team specified?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, in the Devil's Lair video, I only saw 3 Guardians go in.
Okay,
and
so the
I think that may just be 3 people, and that's basically just like the traditional co-op. Like, it's like a raid, but like a lot shorter and more,
it's with a it's the same size as a patrol would be,
It's
right?
it's like well, I don't know. Strikes are kind of like spec ops, I guess you can say, and like
Okay.
Call of Duty, like that sort of thing. I
Mhm.
guess you could say like there's objectives and stuff like that, and once you,
Oh, okay.
it's like a mini raid, I guess you could say.
And so it's almost like another storyline, but with more emphasis on co-op.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison. And everything in this game has to do is gonna rope in the story some way or another because the Bungie designed the game to last for a decade, to be supplied with enough content that lasts them 10 years, and that's really crazy. So there's going to be even the campaign. Sure, you'll get to some point, the quote unquote end, but that'll just be the tip of the iceberg. Yeah.
Okay, and another thing. So Destiny is technically coming out for on disc for consoles, and that's how World of Warcraft was at first. Was it on disc? Do you think that we're going to see a Destiny 2 at some point, or do you think we're going to see Destiny the expansion?
That's a good question. Well, if they're going to take an MMO standpoint on consoles, they're basically bringing a World of just to bring World of Warcraft up again. They're bringing a WoW type game to a console, so maybe it'll be a downloadable expansions. Maybe you'll have to buy another disc, like what they did with WoW. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe those expansions will be the Destiny 2s, the 3s, the 4s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So now we're going to cover. You brought up the Citadel earlier as an example,
Yeah.
and that was a transition into the Mass Effect 4 announcement, which came from the EA conference today.
Yes. Yeah.
And Mass Effect's, if I'm not incorrect, I know Destiny is the hype game for you, but Mass Effect 4, you've been waiting for that since 2010.
Yeah. Yeah. A long time. Well,
It's been 4 years now.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I always figured they're gonna after Mass Effect 3, which is in 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2 was 2010, and then Mass Effect 1 was 2000.
Well, it's actually Mass Effect 3 didn't happen. You've been waiting since 2010 for Mass Effect 4.
Yeah,
For another good Mass Effect.
I was
game.
that hyped. No, well, Mass Effect 3 was okay. No, that's another
Mass Effect 3 was
discussion. That's another discussion. But yeah, I kind of knew. I mean, I kind of had a feeling that
That they weren't going to let such a lucrative.
yeah, why would they? They're making huge sums of money and they have a huge fan base. Why would they let it die with, a debatably good game?
That's basically the same question that was arisen at the end of Dragon Age, because at the end of Dragon Age, the first one, you don't technically have to die. You have the option, oh yeah, you die, but there's the option that you have intercourse with Morgana, and when you kill the dragon essence goes to the baby, which keeps you alive. So what I found interesting is when they made the next Dragon Age game, they actually never brought you back up. You may as well have been dead, but they focused on the Darkspawn. So it's basically, they act like the universe where you die in never happened. Everyone chose to live, and that's the universe they followed along. Do you think that's what they're going to do in Mass Effect, considering they gave you, I think 4 or 5 options at the end?
No, I don't think so, because the creators since once Mass Effect released, Mass Effect 3 released, they said that the storyline is not going to have anything to do with the Shepard timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe it'll be a prequel and it follows another character, or maybe I think it'll have to go in a completely new direction to keep the game fresh. Because, I mean, unless you're I mean, I'm a fan, but like at this point, I'm kind of I want something
Kind
new.
of.
Yeah, I want something more than.
So you want them to shepherd in a new age of Mass Effect?
Yeah, no pun intended.
No.
And no, maybe. But I don't know. Maybe they'll do life after Shepard like this. I mean, you know, Shepard will be
Depending what the
referenced
choice you
in the
did.
game, and his actions and the people he was with will definitely be referenced. I think.
What I said I wanted to see from a new Mass Effect game was that because you're the reason why I played 1, 2, and 3. I bought the trilogy from your good word on it.
Yeah, rave review.
Yes, non-stop reviewing. I don't think you gave me a review of Mass Effect 1 at least 500 times. but and then at the end of Mass Effect 3, the thought in my mind was, no, I don't think we should follow with Shepard, because, you know, it's either Shepard's an AI or Shepard's alive.
Yeah.
If you haven't beat Mass Effect 3, one of the options is Shepard lives. Sorry, guys. But,
Well,
the first thought in my mind was, why don't they go back to the First Contact War? Why don't they...
yeah, exactly. They can follow a totally, like, go back to the Genophage, like that time era.
I was saying, the first thing in my mind when I read about the First Contact War, why don't we do it on Anderson? Like, we know how Anderson is such a main character, and we have such... I think in the novels they cover his backstory, but I would love to see some, like, you know, Anderson not as a colonel or an admiral, but I want to see him as a soldier, as badass as he claimed that he used to be.
Yeah, I agree.
And I thought, you know, and for once you would see not all races desperate, but you would see humans at a level of disparity that none of the Mass Effects really
Or
covered.
maybe you could do the First Contact, like you said, you know, when humanity first discovers
313 or something like that. No, Relay something.
Yeah, no, I think you're close. I think maybe 3-1. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I just think that, and I also said that for having such well-designed ships and space vehicles, and for them to work out space travel so well and in description, they really never really brought capital in from the idea of fighting in space. Sure, you fight on planets and you fight people from space, but never once do you get to fight on in your ship in space. I thought the Normandy deserves to see more action than it ever really received.
From like a gaming standpoint, like
Yes,
yeah.
I think that a chance to fly the Normandy, even if as a fight type of like a in-space dogfight. I know it'd be complicated, and one game probably really can't handle two separate aspects of a game like that. But the idea of getting a chance to taste the Normandy in combat and controlling the Normandy in combat would probably be the most pleasurable experience I've ever asked for out of a Mass Effect game.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. They really it's so up to speculation. It's crazy. Like it can go in any direction, really. I mean, maybe they'll surprise us all and continue with the Shepard storyline, even though they said they weren't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I go back on my statement, but maybe they will. Maybe I don't know.
I also showed you pictures. They showed in-game footage and pictures of the Mass Effect universe, and it all looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful, as I would expect it to look on the next generations. But we thought it looked a tad bit Halo 4-esque. Like, everything had this kind of Halo 4 had this kind of feeling. I don't want to say cartoonish, but everything seemed a little bit more poppy than previous Halo games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Halo 3 definitely had a lot more flat, almost everything. Flat colors are flatter. I feel like the maps, sure, the maps are multi-leveled, but everything felt a little bit more flat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to Halo 4, and everything was poppy. The lights were...
Well, I think that was because more of a graphical...
more of the graphical statement. They were trying to achieve what they had.
Flashy a little bit. Yeah.
Flashy, yeah. But even Mass Effect has had the surrealism mixed in with, grounded standpoints of, I could recognize that somewhat because that looks somewhat Earth-like. It looks bright. It looks cheery, and it looks a little bit like Halo 4. And I don't know, that from an art standpoint, I never really thought I'd associate Halo and Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's I never thought I would either. I know, they share some similarities in that they're futuristic-y games. Well, Halo's set 500 years into the future, and Mass Effect's set 100, 150.
20. It's what, 2252?
Yeah.
Halo is 25, 50, 54.
7, 2?
54.
I have no idea.
One of the Halos.
And then Mass Effect's... I knew Mass Effect 3 is 2186. Or something like that.
And I was actually reading up, so a real life fact. Mass travel. They actually have made a Mass Effect... a mass accelerator drive that could be achieving near light speeds. I think it's a percentage of light speed, but that still is the fastest travel human beings would have ever experienced so far, and it's actually very, very achievable in our lifetime. We could be seeing this by the time you and I even have children.
Yeah, maybe. That would be really something.
So, I think we're fucked. I don't think there's any options here. We played Mass Effect. We know this goes, and I'm just saying I think we should join the military as soon as possible. All right, so we covered Mass Effect, and we got out what we did. They didn't really show much. They didn't show gameplay, but what they did show was some really amazing visuals, and finally a chance to capsize on the fact that Mass Effect 4 is a real game. It's happening. Mm-hmm. It is no longer a rumor or an idea. It's the Monday train has no brakes, and if you're hopping on, you dive in front of the train. You get squashed. Yeah, well, you don't get money.
Futuristic-y, hovery.
Hover train. Yeah.
Yeah, hover train.
So the last thing, which is a fan favorite of you and I and Zach and almost everyone else in the group, is Halo. Halo got a video, 2 videos, 3 videos, I think, and a demo. A demo being included at the Xbox convention today for E3, and I can't act like I'm not super excited because I am drooling a little bit. So Halo
Battlefield
Guardians.
Hardline, beta.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that at the end of this video. Battlefield Hardline is actually being made by a different developer besides DICE, I believe. EA is actually doing what Activision did, and it's bringing in other developers to push out games faster. So you know how Call of Duty is on a 3-year cycle. So
yeah,
we always said that they can't make a good game in 2 years. What we never really considered was the fact that Treyarch just made Black Ops 2, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, but it was 2 years ago. So they're the next one. They're the next runners up. So that's 3 years to develop a game. I never really clued in on that one, but that's what EA's doing now too. Mm-hmm. They're having other people come in to make games. I heard they're actually making Homefront.
But
Yeah, I heard they're actually making a Homefront 2, which I didn't think Homefront 1 did well, but Homefront was actually a really original concept for a Battlefield.
Yeah, it wasn't served.
I don't think it was polished enough.
Yeah, it wasn't doled out the way.
And it needed more of a backing. But I'm happy to see that they're actually, they're putting more on it. So back to Halo. They gave Halo 2 was the most speculated on. They gave that the most of a push out there. All Halo games up to 5, which is 5's the one coming out, are getting an HD remake being released on the Xbox One, except Halo 2 was focused on, because we've already seen Halo 1 in HD. We got to see Halo 2 in the same graphical capacity as we saw
so awesome.
Halo 4. And, I was watching the demo, and the first thing I saw was dual wielding SMGs
in HD,
which was in HD, which was a flash,
super polished
like,
HD, and awesome.
I cried a little, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
single tear rolled down, but and then I showed you the video of. If you haven't watched the video, I'm gonna play it now while we talk. They showed you a polished version of a campaign video, which is the very first mission where Master Chief is saving the Pillar of Autumn, I believe it is, and he kicks a Covenant nuke outside the ship.
Or is it Forward on the Dawn?
No, Forward on the Dawn was no. You are right. No, that's the one you start on in 1.
No, Pillar of Autumn is the one you start on 1.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then it must be Forward on the Dawn,
Yeah.
because the Forward on the Dawn is the one you get in Halo 3. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
I think. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. All right.
Sorry,
So,
I didn't mean
all
to
right,
be
cool.
mean.
All right, no, that's okay. I needed that. The scene where he kicks it out of the ship through a blown up super carrier and into the Covenant Corvette. It was the most refreshing and beautiful, if not somewhat nostalgic, sense of the word. It was breathtaking because we got to see his Spartan 3 armor, how I've always dreamt it of, and it was everything I could have asked for, and it had a little bit of Halo 5 in there, and it was actually a Spartan 5. Who we don't know who his name is. We know his name is Agent Black. A Spartan 5 whose armor actually reminded me slightly of do you remember the name of the squad leader in Halo Reach? Starts with a C. Carter. His armor reminded me of Carter's.
I'm trying to think.
The helmet. Like, think of the helmet. It reminded me of Carter's. But in the reflection of the helmet as the video closes out, we see one of the most missed faces for me, because he wasn't
I did. I missed him too. I really did.
And seeing him in HD in a reflection was just good enough for me, because we got to see Arbiter. Arbiter is back, boys, and I'm not sure what that means, but it means something. And
maybe they like meet each other or something.
Do you think Arbiter's searching for Chief, just like Chief searching for Katana?
That's a good question. Maybe.
I hope so. And guess what? HD Arbiter playing. Halo 2 is when Arbiter came in.
Yeah.
And you got to play as an alien. We always said that, like, oh my god, why don't we ever get to play as the bad side? Technically, the Covenant is the bad side, and we get to play as Arbiter. Which, you always got to do that in co-op, but he had his own storyline in Halo 2, and now we get to watch that in HD, which is glorified. And it's amazing because they are, they're giving my, man some love.
Ooh.
That's the same noise I make to greet some of my friends in the hallway. That's the same noise I make when I get home too. How was your day? Oh man, I need to take that drink. So we got to see that. We know what Spartan 5s may look like. We don't know who Agent Black is. We know that Spartans are still basing their entire lifestyle off Master Chief, which isn't healthy because I don't know how he operates, but there has to be a built-in espresso machine in his helmet.
He is wired 24/7.
24/7. Either that or the man is 85% cocaine because he has never taken a nap between any game ever. I mean, sure, there was a part where he fell from space and was in cryosleep for a year, and where he was technically being made into a Spartan, but that doesn't count.
True.
The dude hasn't sat down for a nap in a while. Sure, he got knocked out, but I don't really know if I consider that as refreshing.
Refreshing as in...
As in, like a cat nap. I don't think being knocked out's
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally just blanked out what you just said. Yeah, I agree. I had it. That was weird. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. It's not refreshing.
That was the trailer for the remakes. We got to see some Halo 2 demo, which I'll put some cutouts from there too. And then we saw Halo 5. We saw a little bit of a Halo 5 video. And it wasn't so much of a video as it was a teaser trailer. and we found out it wasn't even a teaser trailer for the game. It was a teaser trailer for multiplayer. When you buy the Halo HD Remake Collection, you get the Halo 5 beta.
Oh, is that right?
That is very right.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that to you earlier.
Okay.
Halo 5 beta comes with the remakes, which is the most holy grail of all things to offer me. I'm so
Now, why do you
Hard.
like Halo so much? I just
Why do I like Halo so much?
Yeah.
It's the first FPS I ever got into.
okay.
It's the first multiplayer game I ever got good at, and it was, for the longest time, the only game I really played besides Fallout 3, which is why I'm highly disappointed Bethesda's a fucking giant cunt.
Well,
We know Fallout's being made, they just won't announce it.
Bethesda, they messed up a little bit. I mean, ESO.
Sweethearts,
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online is actually apparently very, very good. I heard it was good.
I heard it was the opposite of good. It was.
Uh,
I mean, maybe they'll fix it, but maybe I don't know. Anyway,
all right. So
What else do we have to talk about?
that's why I have such a nerd on for Halo. But I'm just happy to see Master Chief coming back in full form, and get to see him, bare bones, as I think fleshed out as you will ever see him, because now he doesn't have his voice inside his head.
yeah, he's. Yeah, it's. I don't know. They'll eventually, unfortunately, they'll have to end the series some way or the other because he's really old.
He's, I think, 50.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's 50.
He's old.
Or now with all I think Spartans technically they're super strong, and they don't. There's something about them. I remember reading that he ages faster than normal people because of the medication and shit. So technically, I think he's actually 30 or 40 years old, but he has he's aging fast. Master Chief, one way or another, will end up dying one day, and whether or not they take that as all right, well, Master Chief's done. What are we going to do with the universe now? Or, Master Chief's done. It's been a great run. I don't know, because it's Microsoft, and I don't know if they could let a dead horse lie.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know. I don't want to think about it because I'm still
Let's just
young.
enjoy it for the moment right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
I know very factually Halo's probably going to end by the time I'm in college.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, unless they come with a nice in-between game. ODST 2.
Oh.
Can I get an ODST remake?
Huh, that would be
ODST.
pretty cool.
I love playing as
I actually
ODST.
like that.
It was
I actually
very,
like
very
that game.
refreshing.
That game-
It was
yeah,
very refreshing.
Yeah, it was something different.
All right, so we have around half an hour right now of us talking about our fan favorites for oozing out appreciation.
Yes, so much.
Now I'm going to do a speed run.
Sticky appreciation.
All the major things that Xbox shot out left and right at the Xbox convention. This year was entirely set upon showing off the games. They didn't talk about cable or TV or hardware. They said, you wanted games, here's games. They didn't question what the fans wanted. They brought it to the fans, and that makes me appreciate it a lot. And that's I'm happy Microsoft's listening to the fans as much as they are.
I agree.
All right, so the show starter, or I don't know if there was a show starter or not. I didn't get to watch the full conference. I had to do recaps of it. But they're partners in crime right now. Activision, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, entirely looks like the Days of Future Past, that Tom Cruise movie that came out. They totally I don't know who.
I just
who,
at
but
this
that
point,
happened.
I'm sorry to any COD fans. It's just I don't see the draw in it anymore. Maybe Black Ops 2 was okay, but I don't know.
I think they can pull it back. I think.
I mean, they usually do. I don't know. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. They're gonna make. They make money. They're just gonna make money off of it. I personally won't be buying it just because I'm kind of done with that part of just that my gaming life. And I want to experience more games with heart. I guess you can say. Is that a jab at Call of Duty? Maybe more complexity Something I'll know I enjoy doing. Hashtag Destiny.
Alright, so they showed off Advanced Warfare. It looks futury. There's people in like somewhat heavy suits. I kind of just want, the second Ghosts to come out because I want to know what happens, honestly. I got that. I'm actually playing COD for the storyline by this point. I'm sorry. Forza 5 and Forza Horizon 2 were both announced. Forza Horizon 2, or Forza 5, I think, is going to be featuring some racetrack in Germany, I believe, if I read right.
Yeah, maybe.
Something German. I think the entire game's German. Forza Horizon 2 was the open world version. It's almost like Need for Speed meets serious racing, and I love Forza Horizon 2. It was definitely refreshing.
Horizon was
a refreshing racing game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was a blast of fresh air in the racing community because I thought of a lot of racing games kind of felt stale to me.
Yeah.
I don't really like racing games as much as I used to, but Horizon was definitely something I got into like that. It was very easy. Assassin's Creed Unity was announced at the Ubisoft Microsoft conference, and 4-player co-op. First time ever in the series, 4-player co-op in a single-player experience. I don't know how that's going to work, if one person's going to be the main guy and there's going to be 3 side assassins, 3 side bitches, but, co-op. Assassin co-op.
That's pretty cool.
Cross the blades. You don't want to touch tips? Because we can touch tips now. I was watching a video on it. You can actually just kind of walk through the city together. I don't know if there's going to be specifically co-op missions for you and your friends to play, but you can just walk around. Let's say you see 2 guards walking around and they're carrying a crate, and you're like, we have to have that crate. And it's not even like a lootable item. You just really like that crate. So you can come up behind one guard, your friend can get the other, and you can both just, rip them out. Nothing says friendly fun like bleeding out some French people.
Sure.
Sunset Overdrive got another video, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little iffy on Sunset Overdrive because it looked like a great game, but I didn't know how they're gonna pull off the aesthetics and the jumpiness and the happy, kind of go-lucky type of feeling I got from watching the first trailer. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed at all with the showing of it. There was not only humor and beautiful aesthetics, demonstration of weapon systems and everything, but there was the demonstration of humor really caught me and brought me back to almost like a Deathpool type of humor. They're like, you're the hero of this world. Are you going to be able to save this city? And the guy actually turns towards the screen and says, "Of course you fucking are. This is a video game." And I think humor like that really is the funniest. The acceptance of it is just a game, and there are games that need to take themselves seriously because it is a serious game. But Sunset Overdrive isn't that game. It isn't.
I feel like all games should take a note from that. Like, it's a game. Like, it's something.
And
it's entertainment.
If you're making a game for it to be a game, then make it funny. Don't say this is a game we made because we wanted to make a game, and then make it a drag of a storyline.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 3 got an announcement pack. It's called Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. Super Ultra. I forgot the Super Ultra. I don't know where they're going with that. It's Japanese. Fable Legends. Fable Legends got a demonstration. I gotta say, it looks cool. Nothing I've ever seen from Fable. Once again, 4-player co-ops coming back hard.
Yeah.
Sure, it is all online co-op. Which,
it's like I think it's it's like Evolve in that someone's a villain.
Evolve's doing that too.
Yeah.
I don't think Evolve got showcased at the Xbox conference. I think that's going to be coming on later. But 4-player co-op's making a comeback, and no, it's not LAN. LAN is definitely a dying passion.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's all Wi-Fi based, but apparently it's dungeon co-op, goal-based playthroughs with buds. So more stuff for us to play, and more stuff to find out who the 4th player is going to be. We really have to make a holy quadrupity B.
A holy quartet.
Yes, a holy quartet. So one more thing before I do the indie game run through of some indie games that were outlined in the things I was reading. Project Spark, which we played. It was interesting. Couldn't really get the controls down. Haven't been able to play a game about creating shit since Halo Forge. Not gonna lie at all. I am not the creative person I used to be. Project Spark is going to have Conquer from Conquer's Bad Fur Day characters. And that is the biggest nod and appreciative and nostalgic moment anyone that has ever owned an N64 will ever have. Conquer's coming back, and though it's not his own game, which is disappointing, it's Conquer, and I think the fact that even Project Spark, which once again looks like a lighthearted harder game, it's saying that you still have the opportunity to make darker tones.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just for kids.
Yeah.
So run through some of the indie games. Ori and the Blind Forest, which reminds me a lot of Child of Light. With apparently it was described as a Studio Ghibli. If you've ever seen Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, that one game, that one movie about the chick who's a fish and the dude falls in love with her.
Ponyo.
Whatever. Thank you. Ponyo.
Is that the name? I think so.
Inside 3's Cuphead. Cuphead looks
what's
amazing.
That? Yeah,
it is basically like Castle Crashers meets the battling style of a walk. It's like, you progress, you stop, you have this limited arena to fight in, and then you continue. Much like how Castle Crashers was, except the entire style is Steamboat Willie. Like, when you think of this, think Steamboat Willie. The beginning actually reminds me exactly of Castle Crashers, or Castle Crashers, or can't really think. It's another game, same thing as Castle Crashers, same idea. Let's see, The Mighty Number 9, Rise of Tomb Raider. Apparently, Lara Croft stumbles in on Megatron. I don't
actually,
know.
Like seriously?
No, but Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Kind of, Rise of the Dark Moon or whatever like that. Rise of the Fall of the Dark Moon. Apparently, it was a CGI trailer, showcasing everyone's favorite feminine leader. She is actually, I love the original Tomb Raider. Well, not the original one, for the one for the Xbox. PS3, Xbox One, and stuff like that.
Yeah, the one. I like that one.
Definitive Edition did look beautiful. It was a very, very good game. We still have it. We still played it. I got all the collectibles for Zach. It was good. And I think the one cool thing that Ubisoft always manages to pull off with all of their games is that they all still have the lingering feeling of being alike.
Mm-hmm.
The collectibles in Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs have all reminded me of one another. No matter what. They've all kind of had the same feeling of, this must be a Ubisoft game.
I agree.
Let's see. The Witcher 3, which I played The Witcher 2. The Witcher 2 was short, but it was sweet and to the point, and it was a game I got into full-heartedly. It was such a beautiful masterpiece, and with The Witcher 3's open world, Gerald's coming back, or Gerald, or however you pronounce his name, and he is in fact hunting. And he is in fact still a Witcher.
Indeed.
So, confirmed. I have something about Phantom Dust here. Didn't read into that one. Wasn't really interested. By the same people who made Killer Instinct. I guess I'll show a picture or something. But I don't know if it's a fighter or another indie game or what's going on. But it looked CG, so I didn't really watch it. Tom Clancy's The Division is like, I can't even I'm just as excited for this game as I am for Halo. It is open world, Rainbow Six style, 4-person co-op once again, based out of New York, and you are just doing what you need to get done because you are the motherfucker. All right, the HUD, the graphics, the way the world works on the Snowdrop engine, all just brought my heart to tears. And I can't describe how excited and how long-waited that game's been. I think it got delayed, and now it's coming out. They have a release date, and Ubisoft does that with so many games. They got to stop denying us the love that we need. But that's happening. Tom Clancy Division, guaranteed wet dreams. Scalebound, we watched the trailer for it. It looked cool. Kind of looked like Skyrim, more focusing on the scaly aspect of the dragons and the monsters and the taming almost. And it featured a cocky If Dragonborn was a cocky Neil Patrick Harrison,
Harris.
Harrison.
Harrison.
Like Harrison. Harris. If he was a cocky Neil Patrick Harris, then spot on. That's what he was. He did the classic anime tick, the like cocky like tongue click whenever he feels unchallenged. It looks super foreign, super like something I'm gonna get. I liked Monster Hunter. Kind of looks like Monster Hunter.
It's probably going to be similar.
Yeah, I'm gonna love it. And then our last thing on this list, before we've kind of gone in and out of Ubisoft and stuff like that. Ubisoft also covered Just Dance, which is good because we haven't seen a dance game yet for the Xbox One, which was a little weird because you'd think that it was such a solid franchise. They were coming back to back to back. Why weren't they coming out with a new one? And now we know there's another one coming out. And so I'm happy that that's happening, as I was just informed through my live tweeter. Crackdown 3 was announced. And Crackdown has that same in-game humor that I was talking about earlier. You know, with the, it knows it's a game, so it plays like a game type of idea. The trailer itself was very well done. It has a heavier... It almost has the same art design as like Sunset Overdrive, but it's a heavier, more solemn type of experience.
Yeah, what... I mean, like, what is that game supposed to be, though?
You're a super agent doing super agent things.
Okay. Wait, you say Crackdown or Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset Overdrive is just crazy. It's about, like... this soda comes out that makes everyone mutated, but the soda also doubles as a super weapon.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's just that radio. I mean, it looks like it.
So yeah, Crackdown. The video that video has the same type of shit where they break the fourth wall when they're going to take down the leader of the Muertos, like the overall leader, the very very top of the pier, and there's like a they make fun of like military shooters where the guy shoots at the guy's window and the bullets just bounce off, and they're just like, of course he has a fucking like holographic protecting barrier. They're like, of course, and like he just gets mowed down, and then he's like, yeah, gotcha. But the way they say it's almost like the narrator was looking at the screen. But it capitalizes on the fact that Crackdown is a game where you do wacky things because you're bored. And it capitalizes on that. They show the mission, and I don't know if the gameplay is going to be like that, and I hope it is, because real, like, in-game destruction is something that game needs so bad. But, it showed a sniper, a guy in a truck, a guy in a helicopter, and a guy with a detonator. Well, no, and a guy in a truck, and the guy in the truck has the truck strapped to the max with explosives.
Strapped to the max.
Another dude planted C4 along the bottom of a building, blew the building up, the building toppled over, the dude in the truck drove on the building as a ramp, dove out of the truck, opened a parachute, the guy with the sniper shot the truck full with explosive, the explosive-filled truck blew off the top of the building, and shot it into the top of the Muertos guy's building.
Sheesh.
And that had to be one of the most extreme and just the strangest comeback video I've ever seen come out of anything. I don't know.
Just everything.
It's an Xbox exclusive, as the last past 3 games have been. And Crackdown came out in 2011, 2010, and Crackdown 2 was okay. It wasn't... I don't think it was amazingly received. I think it was well received enough. Crackdown 1 was good, but Crackdown 2 kind of suffers from the same problem that Borderlands suffered from, where it gets played to the point where it's boring because there's not that much to do that makes it fresh. So
I agree.
Yeah, good. Happy you agree, Mr. Silent Pants.
Sorry, I'm leading there's a Twitter argument right now.
Oh, okay.
Quite funny. I'll tell you about it after we're done recording.
Alright, so yeah, that was Crackdown. That was the last big exclusive game they came out with. I think I'm going to hit quickly the announcements for the Ubisoft side. So, and EA, I'll speed run through this. Far Cry 4 got a trailer for the first 5 minutes. Beautiful game. Looks funny as fuck. Unity, Just Dance, fucking The Division, I think that's it for the Ubisoft one. And then EA had most of their sports. They had NFL. They had Extreme Golf, where the dude was golfing, and the golf ball went over a blowing up battleship.
Oh,
and I
wow.
thought
That's right. You already said that.
that was different. And they showed off the new Battlefield. They showed off Mirror's Edge, which was orgasmic. Can't wait for that game. Probably one of the most exciting things. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that for so long. Hardline was the game we were talking about earlier for Battlefield. I think that was it for EA. And
Yeah.
everything looks spectacular.
It really-
Sims 4 got a trailer.
We just got to the
And,
point in gaming where everything just looks super friggin' sweet.
I think now that we're old enough to appreciate everything, it just gets better.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have
Man.
enough money to appreciate it.
All the feels. Oh my god. All right, so we capped off today in E3. Bethesda did a Evil Within and a whatever the other game they announced was. They also announced that E3 is making a MOBA, which, if you're not familiar with the term, Smite, League of Legends, and Dota are all MOBAs, and EA is now making one to compete with it. Which is interesting. I don't know if that's an easy market to compete with or enter, but, good luck with them, I guess. So, this was our E3 recap of the day. Tune in tomorrow, and I might be with Zach, or Yuri, or Kevin, or Frank again, depending on how he's feeling. And this was the E3 recap, day one of E3. Tomorrow, Sony, then Nintendo, and everybody is just coming. I think Nintendo was also today, but, Bayonetta, Smash Bros., who cares? Fuck it.
Nah, screw it. It's like a
yeah,
big orgy of
just games.
games.
No, it's a big orgy if I don't need money anymore. Alright, so I think we're going to close it out just at 59 minutes long. Everyone, I hope you that you've watched this all the way through. And if you have, thank you so much. This was at Frank Scare. Frank _ Scare on his Twitter handle. This is Frank Scaramuso. Tristan Kosher Gaming. Tristan Wingate Kosher Gaming. Follow me. I have a Twitter account now. It's at Twinging It. That's TWINGING _it. And that's my Twitter account. My Tumblr account is my girlfriend has a badonkadonk hyphens in each word. Thank you all for watching. This was E3 recap day one. That's my third time saying it. I'll say it 2 more times before I actually get my finisher out. As always, I'd like to remind you guys that it's healthy to eat kosher and stay beautiful.
Stay beautiful, guys.